All right, as we continue to monitor developments from the Türkiye earthquake rescue operations, when I joined via Zoom by Qari Ziyaad Patel. He's a trustee at the Al-Imdaad Foundation. Well, good day to you, and thank you very much, Qari, for joining us once again here on SABC News. We recently spoke to our reporter, Griselda Lewis, who's there with you, giving us an update of the 80-year-old woman who was rescued from the rubble. From your assessment, are there any chances of more people being retrieved alive? I know the last time you and I spoke, we were talking about the fact that this is no longer search and rescue, but really about recovering bodies at this time.
Good afternoon to all of our viewers out there. Yes, actually last night there was a hive of activity at a certain site, which a building had collapsed, this rubble. And of course, why was there a hive of activity? Because there were signs of life. And the story that you're speaking about right now, our teams were there to witness this. Some remarkable stories, miracles coming through. Also on Friday morning at 9:30 in the morning, a mother and baby were also found alive. Last night was another remarkable story. This morning was another remarkable story. But as the time goes by and as time is lapsing, it becomes a bit more bleak to find the survivors, really speaking.
Yeah, let's talk about the rescuers at this point, and those working, of course, in helping to remove rubble when there is a sign of life, and of course those that are recovering bodies. Let's talk about what is needed really at this point by the rescuers and those affected in the area.
I think from recovery, we're now moving to retrieval. We're moving to retrieval into emergency relief. The signs of life is becoming very, very, very much bleak. Literally thousands of homes and apartment blocks have been destroyed. That leaves literally tens of thousands of families homeless. The Al-Imdaad Foundation and like-minded organizations, we have a strategy in place, and that is to filter in as much relief aid as we can. Especially the need of the hour right now is tents. Remember what I said to you, thousands of families are homeless. And for those buildings that are still standing, they're inhabitable because no one knows how long those buildings can stand and how safe it is. Yeah. Secondly, it is bitterly cold. Speaking to you, there's a real chill in the air. We still need to give these people winter warmers, putting them into snow-resistant tents. With that, we also need to see that they are comfortable enough. And of course, yes, we need to see the bare necessities of food, clean water, sanitation, etc., to get these people moving at least for the next few months. Remember, this is a tragedy. This is a catastrophic disaster on unprecedented scale, never seen by humanitarians like myself.
Yeah, and I understand that families are still sort of keeping hope alive, and some of them holding night vigils and hoping that the rescuers will be able to take their families out or their loved ones out of that rubble. But I understand that some have begun to sort of lose hope, and sadly so have begun to be realistic and saying, look, if you can't find them alive, at least give us the bodies so that we can at least give them dignified burials. Talk to us about that. I mean, that must be such a sad situation to have to witness and to see these families and their emotions, the highs and the lows that they're obviously experiencing.
Spot on, undoubtedly. So as you venture from one site to the next site where certain rescue workers are trying very hard to retrieve or recover these bodies, families are waiting in anticipation, anxiously, hoping to at least recover the body of their loved ones so that they can have some closure. And what is very, very sad, and every one of us that are here present, all the humanitarian agencies and humanitarians that are present, we are all on an emotional roller coaster. You move from side to side and people are wailing, people are crying, and you're trying to pacify them. You're trying to console them. Remember, in this tragedy, it's such a large-scale tragedy that besides giving people physical relief, we also need to give them emotional relief. And just to console people right now, that's the amount of sadness and negativity which is now prevalent across this earthquake zone. Wow. There's a lot of sadness, negativity, There's a lot of uncertainty. There's still a lot of chaos, and there is still hope. Like how we seen this morning, how we seen last night, families still have hope. But the reality on the ground is that as time lapses, as the time ticks, and it becomes much more bleak to find survivors, sadly.
Oh, Qari, you certainly do appreciate you giving us your time. One could confuse you for a reporter there. That is Qari Ziyaad Patel, who is a trustee at the Al-Imdaad Foundation there. And of course, they're carrying out some humanitarian aid there in that region in Türkiye, where earthquake rescue operations are indeed underway.